Alrighty. Hey guys, so today is April 15th, 2021, and it's Thursday, so we're gonna try to get some Ultra Blitz going. And if that's not possible, we're gonna just go into a lesson on closed board dynamics that I got set up for everybody. So yeah. So yeah, here's Woogles. So I'm gonna yeah, Noah, if you want to just play me to get the ball rolling, that would be nice. Yeah, thank you. 15 seconds. All right, I can do that, though I'm not used to it. Do you want to do 30 instead? It's probably a little better. So I let Ida go, which is bad. That's not a word. We're gonna get sexy and put a sticky S word on the board and see if he challenges. I just gotta get some plays down now. I get some points. No, that's not a word. So yeah. Hi. Yeah, I ended up with 5 eyes. So just in case you don't know what I did, in Woogles there's a shortcut where if you exchange if you hit the dollar sign, it exchanges all of your tiles. So we'll try to get the board a little bit bigger, see if this works. Is that prettier on the Woogles layout? Yeah, the dollar sign exchanges all of your letters. Oh, this isn't gonna work. This might work. Fuck. Okay, it doesn't matter because he played instantly. Latiner. Gotta get some plays down. Yeah. Got that. Yeah, it's a typo. Is that Ula Chan or something? Do I have something like that? That's not a word. It's probably a decent attempt to see if I pre-moved something. That's not a word. Suck it. Did I have Entente? Shit. What percentage of the time is it correct to triple with junk? A little bit. But I'm always going to be on the lookout when I'm up by that much. So it's not going to work that often. But if it, I mean, it might be 100% if you're behind 200. Oftentimes you make a play. If you phony after taking a little while, your opponent might have pre-moved. Oh wow, I got doozy again. I guess Woogles is rigged. Ah, fuck! Doesn't matter though. Another phony though. I'm just gonna move it over one. Is that a word, rabid? Cleating, that's a word. Two Phanos. So we got Latins, but we can just try to set up that. Gay! Oh, shit. Whoops! That was gonna be gay. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that shit's gonna happen sometimes, unfortunately. There's not that much you can do about it except being an absolute tank. So... Deluder word? I don't know. Do. These are all words. That'll work. That Ratoon doesn't play. I just gotta get some plays down. I just gotta get something down. Oh, I was wondering if he was gonna try a phony. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, Woogles is rigged, obviously. You know that. You just have to say things because you're on the team, but I mean, we all know Woogles is rigged, right? So, we get Pax Wax on the board. That would be fun. Whoa. My signature move. I get some passes in. He might try to phony, but I think I just have to live with it. Yeah, so I win that one. Oh, obviously it's gonna happen, but suck it. Let's go. Oh, IH is not a word. do I phony or not? I think no. Yeah. I managed to come back with real words. I might not be able to. But I got there anyways. So, with some phonies, so it's good. Suck it! Ah, shit. This is gonna be a hard one. Gotta hunkle down. Fuck, I didn't even have the towels. Ugh. Oh shit, he phony too. Oh, he played FO. Where's the dollar sign? Get that in while we can. I can't see anything better, so. That's not a word. Yeah, so. Do I have something? Is that actually a word? I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing anyways. I just kind of make plays. Easy Lance, that's a word. So we got, was it epurate? Oh, that's not a word. Oh, Datic is not a word. Shit. Okay. Let's see. Gotta get something on the board. That's nice find by Noah. Is that a word? Yeah, it's not a word. Okay. I'm gonna show my face, even though it's not. I don't know what's going on. I'm still kind of dark, but I figure I should show my face if I'm gonna be like frantically typing. Let's see. See, that's the time when you're phoning where after you take a longer think, because then your opponent is more likely to have just put some sort of pre-move on. I guess I let a phony go, which is not. Oh, there we go. Here we go. So we're 18-1 this time. I went 14-13 last time. I was still getting used to the setup I have with the keyboard. So we got a better. Get a better setup now. So yeah. Ink. So yeah, the Rankies. So yeah. Let's get something down. Just gotta get something down. Got a pass off. That seems to have. That's not a word. Put a real word down. See if we can sneak something in. Yeah. So yeah, we got that one. The phony koi fish for fish. That'll be fun. Yeah, so I guess I'm just playing Ultra Blitz. That's just the first thing I see. It's definitely not the right play, but oftentimes you just try to get the first thing down because that's just the name of the game. Because you only have 30 seconds, so that's why I'm just sort of I'm not even changing my mind. I'm just pre-moving something because it's good to get. So yeah, he's doing the strategy too, where you take a decently long think and then see if what happens. Okay. We're going to mix in a pass right here and see if we can get him to go over. Then a pre-move. Yeah. So he still got there. He did sneak that on me. Yeah, oh no is a fish too. That's Survivor on the mind. That's why I thought of Outlast first. Bep is not a word. So, Jesse. That's not a word. Got my poker solver that I just bought on my mind, so here we go. Queer. Clerk. Said, I am behind on points, so I can't just sort of go for some passing. Kind of gotta try to make decent plays. Let's see, Cog. Oh, he played PU. Shit. That's not good. That's not a word. Square is an adjective. So I got ordiny, so unteach. Is that a word? Oh well, I'm better than Noah. I'm more likely to win just making plays. See if we can get Tawny's down. Yow. Yeah. I don't actually have an H, so that's funny. Let's see if we can maneuver. So yeah, EOS type of chapstick. So yeah, and that unteach is a word, so it would have lost. Buana. Wheezin? Is that a word? Oh, you got me there. There you go. I guess I should probably just let it go. I've been doing so well just beating him. I don't need to risk on words I'm unsure of. Ah, oh, fuck. Yeah, it's bound to happen at some point. But, yeah, it's like, if I don't quite have the play down when he makes his play, then it's not going to be taken off the board. I got onliner again, but it's not going to... Oh, there we go. Cled is not a word. I could have upheaver if he gives me an E. So yeah, he'll be throwing up at that. Oh, I want to draw a crew cut. Woosha. Figures. Oh, fuck. I don't know a word. Oh, I'm ahead on time. Okay. I just gotta get some plays down. Although I did phony there. I just gotta sort of sneak him in. Let's see. See if we can get him on passing. Okay, got him. Who's watching me right now? A couple people. We got Ucanes. Oh, that's not a word. Cesar, do you want to go after this? I know you sometimes like to play Ultra Blitz. Oh, grading as an anagram that I don't really want to say, even though it's not a bad word. Oh shit. Okay, he didn't. Fuck. So you got a phony on me. This is fine. I have a lot more time than him. It's fine. He can try phony again for all I care, and he probably will. But it doesn't matter. So it went on time. Yeah. Coco. That's a nice score for this format. That's not a word. Bye-bye. Let's see. Bursled. That is tempting fate. Rain. Oh, that's nice. That's he blocked it. Gotta get some plays down, although this spot's pretty likely to get blocked, so I might probably have pre-moved something elsewhere. Wop. Let's get some plays down. See if we can alternate playing and passing and see, because shit. Yeah, I couldn't get it. Couldn't get anything down fast enough. And he got a phone. Oh, I was the only one to phony that time. Okay. Let's go for it. Wow. Renade. Year and year and deanery. Oh, that's not a word. Ha! I had a good rack. I panicked. Infects. Oyas? No. Yes. No. Fuck! Ugh. Woker. Stay woke, everybody. Grass size greases sea urchins. They do not play. Fuck. There we go. Oh, fuck. Fuck! What the fucking doing? I gotta get some passes down because it's taken me a while. I mean, if he starts passing, it's fine. I can sneak a play on. Alright, now I'm ahead. Can we get it off? No. He got me on time. Shit. He's getting me now. Haji has a fun, like, sequence of hooks. Baji and then Bajia. Come on, Noah. Just play the hook, bro. Let's play Inu again. Never mind. Play Winter Speak. That's not a word. So I'm 32 and 7. So yeah. Let's just play like I'm getting slower by the day. Fuck me. There we go. Getting old. There we go. We still got it down even though he blocked it. There we go. Honky cause. Can't think fast enough. I suck. Unfortunately. Yeah, we actually got all the tiles on the board this time, so. Fuck me. I don't know if he's trying to like pull something by passing, but he just phonied anyways. Phonied again. I was looking at that spot, so I guess we're playing the blank there. That's bad. That's not a word. Fuck me. Right. I had to try a phony. I'm blind. I can't see anything. So I do have a little bit more time than him this time. So. Oh shit. Okay, TOF's not a word, but I guess he got a couple. We both got a couple of phonies. Okay. Suck it. Suck it. Let's go. Come on, Noah. I know some words. Come on, man. I've been bulking up. I've been lithing. You even lith, bro? Idless. Fuck. Sun gaze? Is that a word? I don't even know. But I'm just going to try to win. There. Okay, I got him on time. That's not a word. guess it's his bedtime or something. So we went 41 and 8 against Noah Slat 42 and 8. So not was that 84% of the time I won. So yeah, nighty night Noah. Don't let the bed bugs bite. All right, so I guess we'll do some closed board dynamics if Noah can't play. Alrighty, guys. So today we'll do some closed board dynamics if Noah can't play. I might have like made him cry or something because he is like a little kid, but I don't know. So yeah, closed board dynamics. Where does Doug Polk pop up? I want to do that. But yeah, so we're gonna do some closed board dynamics. I got a couple of positions that I think illustrate the main points I'm trying to make, and I found some from my own games that I've played, which I think is good because I think it's good to see like a real life context. Like I can force things to fit, and it's fine. But if you see it from a real game, it's easier to see that it's actually possible. So I found some from my actual games. So yeah. So yeah, let's go with some definitions first. So a closed board is a board where there are not a lot of bingos possible, and honestly, not much possible at all. There's just not a lot going on. And then our range, I'm going to define two different ways. It could be all the possible racks you can have, and it could be all the possible things you can do with a letter. And then variance is just how different the different outcomes can be in different parts of your range, or other things like the range for a letter. So. Yep. All right, cool. So the general principles. So on a closed board, there's not much to do. All right. So because it's going to be pretty hard to get a bingo down, that means that in general there's lower variance. A lot of the variance in Scrabble comes from the fact that you might be able to bingo on any turn. And if you bingo, you're going to get like 70, and otherwise you're going to get like 25 or 30. Obviously, that's way different. So it's big variance for a game like Scrabble. So yeah, so lower variance in general is going to be good for the leading player, because if you're ahead, you don't want variance because you want to just sort of coast to the end. And then if you're behind, you don't want to coast to the end. You want to sort of make things happen. So the leading player is going to want to keep the board closed, and the trailing player is going to want to reopen the board. Does that make sense to everybody? And so yeah. So we're going to not be afraid to make a sad-looking 15-point play, because a lot of the time on a closed board, it's really all you can do with your tiles anyways. All right, cool. So yeah. So we're going to talk about how closed boards affect leave values first. So all tiles and leaves are going to be at the bottom of their range because there's just less going on. And so what this means is that relative to the high variance tiles, the low variance tiles are going to win out, because low variance means that the bottom of their range is still pretty high. And so for the low variance tiles, we got, Z, X, the QU combo. They're all going to be better because relative to things like the E that get a lot of their value from bingos, they don't lose as much as the blank or the E or the S. So relatively, they're going to be looking a little bit more attractive than the default leave values got in your head. And then another interesting one is that due to the fact that short words are more prevalent on a closed board, leave values containing the A and the O are going to be better, because the A and the O actually get a lot of their value from being in a lot of different 2- or 3-letter words, 4-letter words, and we're going to play a lot more of these on a closed board because there's not going to be any place to bingo. So if your leave has the A or the O in it, it's going to be a little bit nicer on a closed board than if you were in an open board. And then if you have the E, because of both the high variance and the fact that the E is more prevalent in bingos than short words, the E is going to be a little bit less attractive if you're on a closed board. So yeah, any questions, please sneak them in. I'm gonna show an example in Quackle of one of my own games and the general principle of relative leave value. And it's actually from a game I already showed, but it's a different position. But it does make sense. So yeah, no, let's see. Let's just find it. Yeah, so. Where's Quackle? So yeah, here's a game that I've already shit, not this one. This is coming, but not so. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So yeah, Noah, you get a taste of what's coming. But yeah, so this is a game I've already shown, but I want to specifically show this turn because it's illustrative of the principles on a closed board. So here we got this on our rack, and there's not much we can do. So the relative value of the J is going to go up because it's a no. We'll get there, Noah. I'm going to get there. It's just thematically, it's actually that might be next. Yeah, so thematically, I'll show that one next. So yeah, here we got the same position as last time, but it's a turn later, and I guess Terry just played QIN for 12, so we're up by 45. So even if she can pull off a renew bingo combo, we're probably good as long as we can get some points. So we got the J, which is gonna go up in value because of the closed board. And it's a high point tile. High point tiles are low variance, so it's going to go up in value. And then we get the P, and the thing to notice about the P is if I draw an A, I can put rape here, which is 27. And if I draw an I can play ripe, which is 27. And if I draw the O, I can play rope for 27. There's 8 of those out of 21 unseen, so I'm actually a favorite to draw one of those 3. And 27 is going to be a pretty good score on this very dead board. So I ended up doing, besides all of these, I decided to go for exchange 5, keeping JP because of the relative leave values on this board, and it's not going to sim well. It's not going to sim properly at all. There are other things to consider. I could keep JPH because the bag is actually very vowel heavy. It's fine to keep some consonants. I could keep an R to make it less likely Terry plays renew, but the important thing about this position is it's just the relative leave values on a closed board. So I went for exchange 5, keeping JP because they both seem to do well. And then obviously if I draw the J, I can play Ya there. If I draw the A and keep the J, or if Terry sets something up, I might even be able to hit the triple with the J, and that's going to be obviously a really good score given what the board looks like. So that was one of my thoughts. So yeah, so that one's that, and then we also got a game with Noah, who's in the chat right now, which is cool. So trying to find it. So yeah, this was in Kingston last year, and this is the position we're gonna look at. So here we got yeah, so Noah, get in the chat, holler. So here I'm trying to show that the relative value of the blank is a little lower than it would otherwise be because of the fact that the board is closed, and quite frankly, a lot of my options kind of suck. I guess the best is probably, I mean, I could do Sank, but I don't really want to take a high variance line when I'm sitting on a blank and probably going to be in the lead for this early stage of the game. So we can do that, but I like it. And then we can do this, but I'm sort of setting up for the blank I no longer have, and I'm giving Noah a really nice bingo line when it kind of looks like he made a fishy play. It's not guaranteed that he made a fishy play, but I do think he's leaning towards a better rack with the plays of Gem and Zax. No, so Noah, what did you actually have here? I forget. If you could tell me, that would be great. I just forget. I mean, I can look it up. I can just look at the other game, but Yeah, so you did have the S already. So yeah, I didn't want to do Sank. I don't know what percentage of the time. Oh, you were setting up the J for Ju and Ume? Yeah, that makes sense. Although it's very likely to get used. But yeah, I think it is probably at least over 50% that Noah kept that Noah has an S based on the likelihood of him either drawing one or just having it when he played Zax. Because Zax is just like a two-tile play. It doesn't score like amazingly for the Z. Like, and we can rule out some tiles. Like if he had a D, he's more likely to play something with Dago. But he's not necessarily going to do that with the S. So yeah, I kind of thought he had an S, so I wasn't going to do Sank. So then we got Cans, but it runs into similar problems with the fact that if he has an S, he's gonna crush me here because yeah, so he can hit all kinds of stuff. So then the options become exchanging the Q. I didn't want to do this because of a triple, so I decided to go with QINS, which keeps the board closed, and my lead's not terrible. I mean, I got some decent ways to hit him here or there. ZE is was a word at the time, still is, but it was at the time. I should make that clear. So I could do some stuff over here on the next turn. But the most important thing is that I think Noah has a good rack, and I'm ahead, so I'm kind of keeping the board a little bit shut down for here. So if we sim it with his rack being ERS, which might be a little bit pessimistic about his rack, he's probably got slightly worse rack, but yeah, it's sort of sims in the heat of it near the top. And so yeah, I don't know. The point of this exercise is to show you that the relative value of the blank is going to go down on a closed board. Riven is a terrible play, so don't do it. He's just going to smash you on the triple, and then you'll have nothing, and you'll still be stuck with the Q. But yeah, exchange Q might work. That is a pretty good leave, and it hits somewhat a decent amount of the board. But it should be noted that he's going to play defensively after that, so you're not going to bingo as much as it says you will. It's telling me you're going to bingo 90% of the time after exchange Q, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. It's probably going to be like 70 because Noah's going to play defensively. So yeah, so I went with QINS, and I probably think it's the best play. And so a lot of top players kind of see like a 32-point play using the blank, and they see it as weird. But if you notice this time when I chose to do it, I just did it on a board where on a board where it's very closed, and so the blank is probably going to go down a little bit in value, and then the V is probably going to go up a little bit in value because the V is a blocking tile. So yeah. So yeah, looking like it's a slight favorite according to Quackle's simulations, and so yeah, I'm happy with this play. We got 1,000, and it's about 1 percentage point ahead of exchanging the Q. This is with maybe a slightly pessimistic assumption about Noah's rack, however. So I don't think I can make a definitive statement that this is the correct play, but I'm happy with it for the reasons I stated. Just goes to show you the relative lead value of different tiles on different boards. But yeah, looks like if he's actually keeping ERS, then I'm cutting his average play by 26 compared to if he played Sank, and by 11 compared to if I played Cans, and then by 9 if I versus exchanging the Q because I block Sago, which gives him less to do. And so yeah, I'm fine with it. But it might not be correct, but I'm happy with it still. Noah, are you happy with it? Do you think QINS is a good play? Because the annotation you gave was actual rack, and then when I did it on the next turn, you gave the annotation of this guy. No. And what's wrong with QINS? Is it because I beat you by over 100 this game despite scoring 378 like a boss? Your dad told me you were crying after that game. Oh, and then another thing is that QINS blocks this scout. So that's another advantage that it has. Because if I'm not going to have the blank, I want to be defensive. So yeah, so that's one of them. And then, so later in the game, I also, this was my rack, and I played this play of Hafts with RT as my leave. And so we're going to notice that Chaft is going to be the top equity play. But the reason why I went for Hafts is because, again, it's a closed board, so I don't need to open it with Chaft when I'm already ahead, and it scores a lot better. And then so Hafter's another choice, but it's a little bit easier to overlap because like words starting with like DE or SE or RE are gonna play, and then it also takes this S hook that's it's gonna be sitting there. So yeah, so we're gonna do a 6-ply sim, and we're gonna see where everything ends up. But yeah. Play QINS with Scout. That doesn't score a lot of points. I mean, that's 8 points sacrifice compared to QINS and Sago, and I can often make a play like Vibier on my next turn to completely screw up the Scout lane. So I don't think I need to be that defensive. I also wasn't up by that much at that point. So yeah, I guess it's giving a slight preference to Haft, but I don't think I'm gonna bingo as often as Quackle thinks I am because I don't necessarily know. I mean, it's probably I'm probably gonna get some openings because I'm ahead and Noah will try to open the board. But yeah, so they're simming close, but yeah, Hafter I guess it likes a little bit better because of the 3 extra points it scores, but it's probably close. And then we have Haft, which I didn't like because there were 4 S's out, and I think he's more likely to have one at this point, just because of the Jizz play and the Zax. So I didn't go for Haft. So yeah, it's probably either Hafter or Hafts because I think he has an S, and so I think Hafts is fine. So yeah, that's just I'm just trying to explain the relative value. The relative value of the blank on a closed board is going to go way down because the blank is useful for bingos, and you're going to be less likely to bingo on a closed board. So yeah. Cool. So yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go back to my PowerPoint, and we're gonna show, and we're gonna talk about case letters on a closed board. So a case letter is when you have the only of a letter that's unseen, and it's already really good, and then it becomes even better on a closed board because on a closed board there's not going to be that much to do. So if you can set yourself up with a bingo lane that can't be blocked, you're suddenly shooting for like 70, 80 points on a board where the average play might score 20. Whereas if you do it on an open board, it's like the average play is 40, and you're giving yourself a shot at 70 or 80, which is not going to be as much. So yeah. So we're going to talk about it. So case letters go up in value. There's often not a lot to do. It might be hard to block if the board is closed. That's another reason why it's more powerful. You know, if it can be blocked, your opponent's making a sacrifice as usual. That sacrifice is part of your equity. You still have the case letter. You can try again. That applies to open boards too. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up a position that I kind of contrived on Quackle. And it's going to just have, it's obviously contrived, unfortunately, but it's fine. It's fine to have these contrived positions sometimes. I do like to find them from real games, but this time I made one. So yeah, here's Quackle, and here's the position. And so in this position we are down by 39. So 383 to 422, so we're down 39, and basically we're not going to win if all we can do is play just like, you know, 20, 10, 15, 20 point plays here, like D or whatever. So you know, it's 14, whatever, but we're down 39. We probably aren't going to win just by making like 12-point plays the rest of the game. So we got to try to go for a bingo. And what we're going to notice is that we have the last E and the last blank. So if we can play something that takes an E hook that can't be blocked, we're going to have that lane to ourselves. And so there's a way to do it here, and that's by making this play of vet, which takes a front E. And so once we play vet, we have E-vet to play with, and this lane is going to be all to ourselves because if you look at the unseen tile pool, there are no E's or blanks left, and so it's all to ourselves. And so once we simulate vet, which is not the equity play, against some other options, we're going to notice that vet is going to rise to the top very quickly. Yeah, so Noah said it in the chat. But yeah, so vet is the right idea here because it gives us a lane to ourselves because of our case letter, which is the case E for EVET. So yeah, and we have a really good leave. I think maybe, are we going to bingo 100% of the time? We might actually bingo 100% of the time. I mean, if we draw the N or the O, we have Tornade. If we draw the S, we have like a Stride or Estrade. If we draw the T, we might not bingo, I guess. Can we bingo if we draw the A? Radiate, yeah. If you play a bingo starting with R, op can't bingo. That is true on this board, although you might be able to keep the board pretty locked down anyways. I don't know. But yeah, our opponent's best strategy is just going to become to keep the best leave they can and to try to hit a bingo off of our bingo. But they might not be able to do that. And also, we can, because this is all to ourselves, we can actually just play one tile off a bunch of times and try to bingo out. We can't pass because we're behind and our opponent could pass back and force a 6 pass. But we can actually try to play off one letter at a time so that we bingo out and our opponent can't bingo off of us. Like here's a sample game that would happen after vet. So we just play vet. Our opponent has this, and they're probably gonna play. They know what's coming, so they're probably gonna play something like play off the I, because they have enough points where if we bingo and they bingo, they'll be fine. So let's say they do something like this to keep a decent leave. Well, now we got this. We have this bingo, which is probably fine actually. That might be fine. I don't know. We'll see how often it wins. I'm not sure if that's best actually, but it does look like it always wins, so that might be fine. But basically, if we didn't have this tetra, yeah, so this is add is better. So let's say we draw the S. So now we actually have bingos, but not to the C. But instead of trying to bingo right away, we could actually just try something like this because our opponent literally can't do a damn thing about this spot. So now there's 4 in the bag. Let's say our opponent plays nag in order to block the C. Well, now we still have bingo, right? We have Tiras. We're gonna bingo 100% of the time, as long as we wait. So now we can just play like Jagas. Now there's only 2 in the bag. Our opponent just makes like a fishing play because they can't do anything. And now there's 1 in the bag. But again, if we just play off the T somewhere, we're going to be guaranteed to bingo. Our opponent still can't do anything. Our opponent still can't do anything, and they're behind, so they'll just make the best scoring play, and then we can do whatever we want, and bingo. Out and win. So it should be noted that this isn't perfect because of the C. Like on this turn, a couple turns ago, our opponent. So yeah, here our opponent actually would have had Sonantic if they didn't block the C. But yeah, so if the C was already blocked at this point, vet would actually win 100% of the time because it can't be blocked. And you can just sort of shuffle around and make one-tile plays and bingo out with the idea of preventing your opponent from ever bingoing. So yeah, that's the power of a case letter on a closed board. So we'll go back to my PowerPoint. We'll do the last slide. So we got, will the board reopen? So yeah, so if it's early in the game, the board is going to be likely to reopen, which just means that there'll be a lot of bingo lanes again because it's just a sort of a natural flow of things. So if it's likely the board is soon to reopen, your bingo tiles are actually going to be perfectly fine because once the board reopens, you're going to have bingo tiles on a board that's friendly to bingos. So if you have bingo tiles, you might want to reopen the board. And then another thing is if you're ahead, you should be perfectly happy reopening. You should be perfectly happy not reopening the board because generally it's not going to score many points. Remember, I always say this, but Scrabble's a game about paranoia because your opponent's always going to have a first crack at whatever you set up. So you might as well force your opponent to do it because if you're ahead, you have no reason to because you're not desperate. They're the one that's desperate. Like the base case of this is just literally exchanging because your opponent can't just exchange because they're behind. The 6-pass hurts them. So that's the base case, and that's why you have really no real reason to even want to bother. So yeah, if you're behind, you can try something like that. If you're behind, you have to set it up. If you're ahead, you just sit and wait. But if the board's about to reopen, basically you should keep bingo tiles because you're going to go back up in value relative because you're about to hit a board where they're going to be valuable. So I'm gonna show an example of this. It's from a game I already showed, but it's gonna be a few turns later. And so yeah, it's not the position I won't shut up about, but it is the game I won't shut up about. But that's fine. It's important to show the concepts that came from it. So yeah, we'll get it up. Not that one. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll go back here and this one, and so yeah. So we're going to look specifically at this turn. And so here we got the Z, which goes relatively up in value on a closed board, and then we got some bingo tiles, which go relatively down in value on a closed board. And so, yeah. So I have a couple options. We can play Res. We can play Zia. We can play Wed. We can play Opt. And we can do something down here like Tind or Dint or maybe Din. And so I guess we'll just talk about the various options and sort of the pros and cons of each. So the issue with Din is it sort of breaks the sort of cardinal principle, which is if you're ahead, you should sort of just sit on the closed board because why not? Like you're just sitting there ahead, right? And you're giving your opponent 2 huge lanes when he's already shown some amount of propensity to have good tiles, like Ape. There's only 2 tiles played. Hades plays off an S for an extra, like, 5 points instead of 8, so he's pretty likely to have an S. So the fact that he's pretty likely to have an S also takes Opt and Wed out of consideration because I don't want him to smash me there. So we'll get rid of those. And then, yeah, Dent runs into the same issues where it gives him a lanes for his S, and I can't really do anything with the Z. So I'm kind of just setting up a shitty board for the leave I'm keeping. So yeah, and then Din and Tind. So then we got Zia and Rez, and then I went with Rez just because I want to sort of block this section of the board a little bit. There's Zia, which just doesn't leave, and RE's not the worst thing to try to play a 9 through, right? So yeah, so we go with Zia in the end. We go with Rez in the end. Yeah. So we can like sim these plays. New S6 play, Sam. I actually don't think this play is terrible because it keeps the board closed and it scores okay, but I don't think it's that good. So yeah, we'll see where everything shakes up. We'll let it go for like 1,000 of them. Yeah, Zia or Rez looks to be the favorite, or by Quackle. It's the most defensive, I think. We'll look. It says on Dean's next turn he's going to get only 20 points after Rez, compared to a lot more after anything else, other than Zia. So yeah, that's why Rez ends up as a favorite. I'd imagine if I added an S, it's going to be even better Rez, which I played. So yeah, Noah, does this make sense to you? Basically, because I know the board is going to reopen soon, and I might even be able to get some sort of bingo down here with Fawn. Says I'm gonna bingo 43% of the time against after Rez. I don't think that's true because I don't think he's necessarily going to be desperate to reopen when he's down 22, but it is coming. We might do Glitzed. So the issue with Glitzed is that we have no reason to want to reopen the board because we're sitting pretty with a lead. So whenever your opponent reopens board, they're probably not going to score that much, and they're going to have first crack at whatever you set up. So I don't think Glitzed is a very good play. I mean, we're just giving Dean, like, look, we're giving Dean first crack at, like, a triple, a Z, a bunch of bingo lanes. And remember, a lot of Dean's bingos in this position are going to be, like down here, and that gives us a bunch of bingo lanes. So even if he bingos, we can hit him hard. So yeah, guess we sort of got like a sort of close race at the top, but I don't think based on what Dean actually has, I don't think any of the plays that go through Fawn are very good. But yeah, so then the next turn is also interesting. So we got this nice rack with bingo tiles, and then we can do either something like Wed, or we can do like we can do that, which is just fishing, but it just doesn't score as much as Wed, so I don't really see the point. We're already pretty likely to bingo with anything as long as he opens the board, which again, because we know our opponent has to open the board at some point, we might as well just sit pretty on our bingo tiles, right? So yeah. Our options are Din, Tin, Dint, Fawn, Tind, Wen, Leah, In, and Wed, and then maybe just leave like Tinder in just to add a little bit of diversity, even though it's a terrible play. So we'll let the sim run, and I'll basically talk about the different options. I do think Wed is the best play still, and the reason why I do think it's the best play is I'm basically just sitting on bingo tiles and waiting for the board to reopen. There's also Leo, which is another version of this, but this gives Dean somewhat of a lane here because it takes a front eye. So I don't think it's that good. And again, I do think he has an S. So if we sim with the assumption that he has an S, it's probably gonna go up in value. So we'll assume he has an S, and then we'll take out some of the plays that are just variations of each other to make it go a little bit faster. And then we'll see what happens. So yeah, it's sneaking up there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Din, I guess, is also simming well, although I'm not really sure why. It kind of does the exact opposite of what we want to do because we can't actually bingo that often. So yeah, Wed has now hit the top of the sim, and according to what I'm looking at the output, and it's saying we bingo 49% of the time after Wed, and then only 30% of the time after Din. But remember, again, we're sitting pretty with a lead and bingo tiles on a closed board. We are actually a lot more likely to win than whatever this is saying. Can I go through this whole game? I will someday. But not this week. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting decisions, although they become a lot more obvious near the end. Like the Tiff's turn and then Rez and Wed are really the most interesting. But I guess we could try to do it with like a new group of followers. But yeah, so I guess Din is simming a little better now, but I don't think it's correct because of the way I think Dean's going to react. I think there's a recursive aspect too because I'm kind of just giving him shots at that bingo forever. And I think the way he's going to actually react to Wed is going to be good for my leave. I think Bogo Win is kind of messing this up because I think even though the size of my lead after Wed isn't that big, it's perfectly fine for me to just sit like still and pretty and look pretty with my little 30-point lead because the board is completely dead. So yeah, I do think despite the sim, I do think Wed is probably a little bit better than Din. Din just gives Dean a lot to work with when he already has a good rack, and I'm not gonna have that good of a rack. And my leave is super good, so yeah. Any attempt he makes at opening the board will give me a ton of bingos. So yeah, that was another position I want to, and yeah, I do think Fonz is fine. I think Dean is smart enough to know that it's not a word. I mean, my next turn is Fawn. I actually do play Fawn on my next turn because I draw another N. But yeah, if I actually go through the entire game someday, I will. The only thing is, it's like these two plays are clearly incorrect, and then I draw a couple obvious plays at the end. So I mean, it's not that interesting. And also, I was very low on time because it took me like 7 minutes to play TIFFs. So I just sort of make a couple time pressure mistakes, and then it ends up not mattering anyways. But yeah, I could go through this game someday. I would like to. The game I had with Terry, which I also had a bunch of interesting positions in that I've already shown on this Twitch, is another one I'd like to go through. Just because I think there's a lot of instructive positions that I think even a lot of top experts aren't getting. So yeah, I mean, this is all I've got for this stream. But yeah, Noah, if you got anybody in the audience, though I don't know how many people are there. If anybody has a good idea on what to do next week, I will do it. We're going for Tuesday, and I'll probably get rated on Tuesday, so I'll probably have a lot of viewers. So Noah, do you have any ideas for me? I'll give everybody like 2 more minutes, and then I'll sign out. All right, I guess I'll just sign out. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see everybody on Tuesday. Bye.